大将一切怪人となせ友人弱化
We're a few weeks away from summer, the season of outings and blockbusters. That's why I feel that it's proper that we're featuring 10 of the biggest spitfires that the anime world has seen. Yes, the title is already a giveaway, but today I'll take you on a tour to meet my favourite overpowered fire wielders in anime. Oh, and by the way, this list isn't in any specific order because, trust me, fitting out 10 of my favourite fire users in anime is hard already. Who could forget Roy Mustang? Being a legacy anime, Full Metal Alchemist seemingly doesn't get talked about that much. That doesn't mean it didn't leave its mark on the anime scene, and for me, one of the reasons it did so is due to the fiery charisma of Roy Mustang. The cool colonel may not be the modern definition of overpowered, but in the context of FMA, he sure had a lot of amazing feats. I often talk about his fights on the channel, some which end up being even more memorable than the Elric brothers' fights. That's just how much of an impact the character has made on me. I also like how the show developed his relationship with Riza, and I think that that's one very important aspect of Full Metal Alchemist writing and building up its characters. Like Mustang, Feitan has that brooding, pretty boy appeal. In contrast to Mustang, however, Feitan is a more sinister person that you wouldn't want to cross. Overall, one of the more powerful members of the Phantom Troop, Feitan is the type of person who wouldn't hesitate to get his hands dirty in his quest. The true definition of silent, but deadly. If his stoic demeanor and sadistic penchant for torture is anything to go by. And while Feitan may not be associated with fire, the fight with Zazan qualifies him in my book. Rising Sun was a breathtaking sight to watch, and seeing it in action still gives me chills to this day. Feitan has had a lot of fights, but I do think that the Zazan fight is one of his best and the one that catapulted him to the top of my Phantom Troop member rankings. Strongest Phantom Troop member? Well, not exactly, but he does show that he has more than earned his top spot within the squad. Why stop the momentum of the team leader types? Let's proceed to someone who's had experience leading a squad, Mereoleona. How's this for a change of pace? Unlike both Mustang and Feitan, Mereoleona embodies what everyone thinks of a powerful fire wielder, a loud, aggressive, and short-tempered force. Regardless, there's something in Mereoleona that allows her to be one of the best at connecting with others, and earning her respect will take you far. With that in mind, getting on her bad side is nothing but bad news. And it's pretty amazing that Mereoleona has a perfect combat record. You'd expect these kinds of mentor characters to be fed to the big villains. Hey, even Yami had his moments of shocking defeats, but not this woman, despite having a lot of close calls. My favourite spell of hers has to be Calidus Brachium Purgatory. It's just the perfect complement to her go-getter and physical fighting style, and in anime form, it's presented in such a cool manner with the blue flames. Next up on the list is Benimaru. Benimaru, which one? Well, the video's already a spoiler, and I'll be talking about Fire Force's Benimaru. The character with the same name from Slime is also a cool example of a badass user of flames, but I give the Fire Force character a nod for being more closely associated with the element. And to keep the stream of authority figures going, because Fire Force's Benimaru is yet another example of badass captains. Benimaru has had a lot of showcase fights. We have the nifty Akidaru fight, but the better one, in my opinion, is the Haran fight. It's one of Fire Force's many fights that simply wowed me with its animation. This is a guy you'd want on your side. Despite being short-tempered and disrespectful, he's a person that you can trust. Personally, I really like his philosophy that puts him at odds with Holy Soul. As for someone who's the epitome of burning passion, here's Endeavor. Endeavor probably needs no introduction. One of the world's top heroes has to make an impact whatever he does, wherever he goes. Whether it be incinerating Nomu in his flames of fury or being an ever-looming presence that's proven to be an anchor in both All Might and Todoroki's stories. In addition to his amazing feats battling villains and Nomu, I really like how Endeavor slowly developed as a character. There's little to like about him when he's first introduced, and it stays that way most of the time. There's the pride that makes him off-putting to some, but as the story progresses, we get to see more of his perspective and how he becomes a more sympathetic figure. He's one of the more engaging father figures in anime, and a lot of it has to do with his redemption story. But on another note, anime just isn't enough to keep my spirits up. After all, even the toughest battle shonen heroes or the most overpowered isekai protagonists eventually must face the hardest fight of them all: the battle within. That's why I'm very thankful for today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online service that helps you with those mental and emotional struggles. For those having difficulty with self-esteem, like I did when I was around your age, or having trouble sleeping as well, like I still sometimes do in the present, BetterHelp offers their set of licensed therapists to help. With over 20,000 registered therapists in their network, you can easily find one whose sessions are tailor-made just for you. All you've got to do is to get them to know you more, and you do that simply by filling in a questionnaire. Signing up is super simple, and answering the questionnaires are super easy. Once everything's said and done, you can start setting up schedules at your own convenience. To end things in a good and hopeful note, I'm here to offer you 10% off your first month. All you've got to do is click the link in the description box or go to betterhelp.com/ViniiTube. Get matched with a therapist who'll always be ready to listen and help. Who says we can only stick to authority figures, especially when Ace exists? Anyone up for a call, brother? While lacking the powerful or intimidating presence that the first half of our list had, Ace trumps them all in terms of being that one character who just feels so ideal. I bet a lot of One Piece fans dreamt of having someone as cool as Ace being their brother or guiding light. In contrast to the loud Luffy, Ace is more calm, collected, and mature. But don't let that personality fool you, for he's one of the bravest characters in One Piece. His loyalty is second to none, and it's those traits that have earned him a lot of admiration from characters of the One Piece universe. Among One Piece's loads and loads of characters, he's one of the select few who truly made a mark even after his time in the limelight has ended. Both in and out of universe, he's not a shabby fighter, but he's a character I've always seen to be stronger in terms of heart and the ability to touch others, instead of just being an overpowered beat-em-all character. And then there's Escanor. Probably one of the most overpowered characters of them all, Escanor has become a fan favourite due to the sheer absurdities he puts out on screen. The man looks nothing close to intimidating, but underestimating him is the last mistake that you'll ever make. I'm sure anyone who hasn't watched or heard of Seven Deadly Sins will be surprised if I were to tell them that this is arguably the strongest member of the main cast. But the record does speak for itself. Escanor has won his fights in dominant fashion, and you've got my previous videos to refer to for that. In addition to his impeccable performance in fights, what I like about Escanor from a meta point of view is the fun gimmick given to him. Having powers that work accordingly to the time of day isn't too common. Off the top of my head, there's Nanami, but not many others. Still, I think Escanor's application of it is one of the most impressive ones out there. Man, I still feel sad that they did Escanor dirty with that supposed crowning battle against Meliodas. And we follow Moustache Man with another Moustache Man. Here's Yamamoto. I really enjoy Yamamoto as a character for his duality. As Captain Commander of the Gotei 13, he's ruthless, stiff, and intimidating. There's no one you like to piss off more than Yamamoto amongst the captains of Soul Society. No one, trust me. But the bonus episodes and fillers reveal a goofy side to him that we'd expect from the textbook image of an old man who's had his best years behind him. What exactly led Yamamoto to become head captain of the Gotei 13 is an event shrouded in mystery, but one thing is certain. He more than justifies his billing as the strongest force in the entire Gotei 13. So much that even Aizen had to think of a way to mitigate his powers. Aizen! And Yamamoto still finds a way to overcome that. Not by skill though, but by brute force. And we haven't seen Yamamoto's full power yet. It's something that'll be revealed in Bleach 1000 Year War. and I'll tell you as early as now that it lives up to the hype. As we head towards the home stretch of the list, how about stopping by and appreciating Hiei? Now, here's the thing. I think Hiei is the character that started it all. Not the trend of fire wielders, but my interest in those standoffish characters with that cool, edgy vibe. As far as I'm concerned, Hiei is by far the coolest member of Team Yusuke back when I started watching Yu Yu Hakusho. And it's not just because of his overall aura. You've got the cool swordsmanship and the visually appealing black dragon flames too. Then there are those fighting skills on full display. Fans, remember when he showed that he's not just a speedster, but also immensely powerful, stopping Bui's axe with one hand a la Aizen. Or the time he managed to go toe-to-toe with Yusuke, proving that protagonist supporting characters don't always have to be left in the dust by the main hero who gets all the power-ups. Yeah, Hiei makes it on this list due to the rule of cool. He's an awesome character who has a fan base that he deserves. Could we have a fire wielder list without Natsu? Yeah, legit question, because Natsu is the shonen protagonist who's practically synonymous with fire as an element. Sure, there are others who use it, but the one who almost exclusively uses the element? I can't think of others off the top of my head. Maybe Suna for KHR fans out there, but I don't think he's anywhere as well known as Natsu is. Who doesn't know the ever-passionate Natsu and his wide arsenal of fire-based attacks? Being the Fire Dragon Slayer, he's got multiple tricks up his sleeve, but it's not until later when his overpoweredness comes in full display. Yes, the power of friendship and all that, but even discounting that, we can clearly say that Natsu has some of the strongest power-ups over the course of the anime. Now, I'm not sure if I want to outright spoil it for you, but I'll give you a hint by telling you to look at his transformations and true identity. And there we have it, my favourite amongst the overpowered fire wielders in anime. I'm pretty sure my list looks different to yours, so head on down to the comments and tell me who you would have in a top 10. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like, share, and check out the other videos on my channel too. You can also check out ViniiTube's other social media avenues. There's the Discord, the Patreon, and the Instagram, and all the links for those are in the description box. I hope you had fun watching this, and I hope to see you again soon.